So we already looked at how to add integers using a number line, but sometimes a number line might not always be that convenient, especially if we're working with larger numbers. We don't want to have to draw a number line that's really, really long. So we're going to look at some rules that help us to add integers without a number line. So the first examples are going to be adding integers that have the same sign. So either both of the integers are positive or they're both negative. So when this happens, we're going to add the numbers and keep the sign. And keep the sign. That means keep the sign of the original numbers. So here's our second example. Let's say we had 8 plus 4. Okay? Both of these numbers are positive. So when we have a positive plus another positive, our answer is going to be positive. Some of you might want to write it like this too. Positive plus positive equals another positive. All right, so 8 plus 4 is a positive 12. Okay, so that's example 2. Example 3, we have a negative number, negative 7, plus a negative 5. All right, so both of these numbers that we're adding together are negative. So when we have a negative plus a negative, that's going to equal another negative number. If you're a visual person, you might want to use these little circles. Negative plus a negative equals another negative. All right, so you're just going to simply add 7 plus 5. That's 12. But then, since they're both negative, it's going to be a negative 12 for our answer. So negative 7 plus negative 5 was negative 12. All right, so when the signs are the same, it's a little bit more straightforward. Now we're going to look at adding integers with different signs. All right, when our two numbers have different signs, what we do is we subtract the two numbers and take the sign of the bigger. So let's write that down. We're going to subtract and keep the sign of whatever number is bigger. Okay, let's go ahead and start with, we'll do negative 14 plus 3. So we're adding together two integers. One is negative and one is positive. So they have different signs. So what we're going to do is subtract 14 minus 3. That gives us an 11. But then we need to figure out our sign, because this could be a positive or a negative. So you look at your two integers, which of them is bigger? Now, by bigger, I mean which one is further from 0. You could also think of it as which one has a bigger absolute value. So negative 14 is further from 0. So we'll say negative 14 is bigger. I'm putting it in quotes because it's actually not bigger than 3, but in terms of absolute value it is. So our answer has the same sign as negative 14, which is negative. So negative 14 plus 3, that was our original problem, is not going to be positive 11, it's going to be negative 11. And we are done. So we subtracted, since they had different signs, we subtracted 14 minus 3, took the sign of the bigger, and that was it. All right, we'll do 2 more examples. Example 5, 98 plus negative 6. So clearly we don't really want to make a number line that goes all the way up to 98. So we're going to use this rule. 98 is positive, negative 6 is negative. So they're different signs. So just like example 4, we're going to subtract them. We're going to do 98 minus 6 and see what we get for that. We get 92. And then we're going to take the sign of the bigger. So 98 is bigger, or further from 0, I mean. So our answer is going to have the same sign as 98, which is positive. So our answer, we'll say, is positive. So 98 plus negative 6 is a positive 92. Okay, lastly, example 6, we're going to do 11 plus negative 13. Okay, we have different signs. One of them is positive and one is negative. So remember, we subtract the two numbers. We're going to take 13 minus 11. That gives us 2. And notice we're always subtracting the one that has a bigger absolute value from the one that has a smaller, or sorry, we start with the one with the bigger absolute value. We take away the one with the smaller absolute value. So we did 13 minus 11. We got 2. And now we need to figure out the sign of our answer. So which of our two original numbers has the bigger absolute value? 13, or negative 13. So our answer is going to be negative. 11 plus negative 13 is negative 2. So we took the sign of the bigger, which was negative. And we're done.